stand up. All God's people come together and send this praise up. Way in the beginning, before time began, God knew He would need a lamb to save man. Someone sinless, someone blameless, to pay the price for my forgiveness. With no doubt or no hesitation, Jesus died to save the nation.
Yeah, He broke the chains from pushing dope. My life will never be the same. I'm pushing hope and death knocking on my door. He kept me anyway. He told the devil not today, cause today not her day. Ain't he playing for keeps, but my God don't play. And I belong to Him, come my way, get slayed. So go on and move, Satan, get out the way. Move, get thee behind me.
Just for me, just for me. Oh, He did it just for me. Just for me. And He did it just for me. And He did it just for me.
What's up, family? Welcome to Late Night with Jerry Was Live Worldwide, aka the Batman of Charm City, baby. Right here with Paula G, the voice. That's right, y'all. We got a special guest. That's right, this is a world video premiere of Felicia Joseph, brand new video called Jesus, filmed in Florida. It's gonna be hot, y'all. So we're going to talk to her for a little bit, and at 12 o'clock, we're going to air her video. That's right here on Late Night with Jervis Live and Music Vision Television. All right, let's bring on Paula G, the voice. What's up, Paula G? What's going on?
Hey. Jerry Voice Live Worldwide. Can you feel the power? How are you, my brother?
I can feel the power of Paula G.
Indeed, yeah.
How you doing,
How's
Paula?
your week been?
Well, I had to take 2 days off and chill with the family.
Oh, wow.
My daughter's home. Sky was home. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. She's on, what, spring? I'm lost. Spring break.
Spring break. That's right.
Spring break. Oh, my God.
It's early for some
I
schools.
cannot believe that her first year is all 2 months, and it's done.
Yeah, she be home in May.
We were just,
yeah.
we were just having her graduation party for her senior year of high school. We're gonna blink and we'll be headed to her graduation for college.
That's right. Well, it's not about us tonight. Tonight is about Joseph Felicia. She's here. Felicia Joseph. My bad, y'all.
Yeah.
Family, welcome here to Late Night with Jervis Live and Paula G, the voice. You know, me and Paula could talk all day because we haven't talked in a few days, so we're not even gonna get that started. So we're gonna go ahead and bring our guests on because she only got a couple minutes before we premiere the show. What's up, Felicia? What's going on?
Hello. How are you, Batman? How are you, Paula G?
Awesome.
Fabulous.
That's right.
Fabulous.
So, Felicia, you know, see, we used to have our 11:30 show, and we usually chit-chat and forget all about our guests. I didn't want that to happen, so I said, let me stop it at the path. So, look, Batman's on mute. Paula's going to interview you, but just to let everybody know, Batman will be in Atlanta, Georgia on April 13th and 14th. So if you're interested in getting on my journey with Paula G, your chance, go out to the website, paulagvoice.com, fill out the form, and we will be in contact with you. It's going to be exciting, y'all, so check it out. Amen. Batman's on me.
Yeah, and make sure you go to the tab, live taping in Atlanta. Make sure you hit that tab and fill out that form. So we make sure we get the right, because we also have a mailing list tab on there as well. So just make sure you hit the live taping in the ATL. All right. Okay. I think, is Batman gone? Did he leave us?
Batman's on me.
Felicia.
I'm gone.
Oh, okay.
I'm gone.
Batman fell off. But how are you? An exciting evening for you. Well, evening/morning.
Yes. I am. my closest friends make fun of me because I am the oldest young woman you know. Like, I go to sleep on rest home hours.
Rest is good.
When they saw the ad that came on, everybody was like, "Oh my Lord, are you still going to be awake at 11:30?"
They had to set their alarms to witness it.
Yes,
But this is
I believe a lot of them are watching now just to be able to see if I actually was awake at 11:30. So to them, I say na 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 na
na na na na. Like you say when you're little, nanny nanny boo boo.
There you go. That's it.
Well, how exciting for you. First of all, congratulations. I have so much that I want to ask you in the next 20 or so minutes, so we're just going to keep it rolling. But first of all, you went to the extreme. My sister went from New York to Florida. The cold weather was that bad?
Yes, it really was. The snow and the more snow. And when I say especially this season, I am so grateful to God that in His infinite wisdom, He allowed me to move before they got hit with the winter that they're getting this year. Every time I speak to my father, he's saying how it's snowing again and it's iced up again and it's so cold again. So, yeah,
I'm
glad I am not there.
Well, we're neighbors, Florida and Georgia, right next to each other. So I guess we'll consider ourselves neighbors. Now, you were raised in the church, and I always love to hear from artists who were raised in the church. You know, as children, we absorb so much, and during our childhood, we may not realize what we're absorbing or how it will ultimately impact our life. So can you take us back to the little girl, Felicia, sitting in the church with her legs swinging over the pews, probably her little patent leather shoes with the little bobby socks?
Yes, with the lace socks.
With the lace socks.
Yes, ma'am.
Fidgeting in church. What now that you look back and you recall those days, what do you feel that you absorbed at that time that was your norm for you?
Ooh. Well, first I can say that looking back in hindsight, I am much, much, much more grateful now that I am an adult than I was when I was a child, and it felt like I was being forced to be there. I was forced to be still. I was forced to be quiet. I was forced to pay attention. But I now thank God for that. What I absorbed, one of the things that I absorbed that helps me so much today is prayer and calling on Jesus. You know how so much when things happen, they always say whatever's inside will spill out and spill over, and anything, there'll be people that say, oh, I don't cuss, I don't do anything, but you catch them or surprise them or if they get really, really angry, them words start popping out of their mouth. One of the things that I have absorbed that I love and appreciate now is I'll call on Jesus in a minute. If I'm nervous, if I'm scared, if I'm excited, I mean, it was instilled in me. He's always there. He's always listening. He's always watching. There's nothing you can hide from him. He is the one person that you can be completely honest with because you have no other choice. He knows anyway. So that was instilled in me to talk to Jesus, to turn things over to Jesus, to cast my cares on him, and that has really helped me now, where before I would just say, oh, this is just stuff I'm saying. Oh, I cast my cares on him, for he cares for me. I would just say it when I was a child growing up, where now I'm an adult, I lean on that. That is my strength. That is where I pull strength and comfort from. So that's one of the things that I think most has impacted me on this journey.
You know, and it's so interesting how repetition, it can be really powerful, especially like you said, when you're talking about your faith and you're talking about the church and you're talking about, you know, those valuable nuggets that are poured into you as a child and then become ingrained in your being and become part of who you are naturally, because that foundation, you know, I would say the proper foundation for a child can be so powerful for them and so enriching for them. So seated in church, we're absorbing all of these wonderful nuggets, unbeknownst to us at the time.
Right.
And we're absorbing just how powerful prayer is, and knowing that Jesus is always, always with us. At the age of 8, you penned your first song. Tell us about, can you remember that experience? Tell us about that experience.
Well, sitting there, I'm still on the pew with my legs swinging and my patent leather shoes on.
And the bobby sock.
And I always sat. I had a designated seat next to one of my godmothers, who was also the first lady of the church, and she was the head of the choir. She always sang. So from a very, very young age, when I couldn't express myself, they used to say that I was going to be an actress, or I was going to be a movie star. They would say that when I was a child, because if I couldn't find a way to say stuff, I would sing it. I would walk around the house singing with heavy. We make fun of heavy vibrato now, but as a little girl, I thought that's what singing was. As long as I said I was singing for real. So I would walk around the house saying the things. If I knew I wasn't supposed to have soda after a certain time, but I wanted to ask for soda, I would sing a song about soda. So the first song that I wrote was telling my mother how Jesus wanted me to be able to break her rules.
Oh.
that Jesus is the true king, and I know she has these rules for me as a child, but the Lord wants me to be able to go by His rules, not by her rules.
The Lord told you you got to go by my rules,
yes.
not Mama.
Yes, so that's what it was. I would tell her, yes, I know that you're my mom and you say you're the boss, but God is your boss and He wants me to do that.
And we know He had you in the palm of His hand, because you have lived to be able to tell that story.
Exactly. Exactly. I would trade my mother for the world, honey. She was she is a special woman to have raised a child like me, because I have plenty of stories where now I'm an adult. I go, now how would I have reacted to my child saying or doing this to me?
I don't know what to do with that.
Right.
Take it to the Lord. Take it to the Lord in prayer.
But she did. One thing she says is she always fostered the creativity in me, even as a young child, because I was still basically a kid, and I was writing songs. And I remember when I was about 10 or 11, I wrote a song for our pastors. We were celebrating his birthday, his anniversary, something. And I wrote a song, and I said, I need a group. And I come from a singing family. My father's side of the family are the musicians. My mother's side of the family are the singers. So I went to one of my aunts, one of my cousins, and one of my uncles, and got together and said, I need you guys to sing this. So imagine, here's this little 10 or 11-year-old girl teaching parts and teaching lyrics to adults who are actually listening and saying. And when we did the song at church, my pastor was so moved by it. He did not believe that I wrote it when I said I wrote it. After service, he asked my mother, and she said, yeah, she did that. That was all her.
She wrote it. Wow. And so your father's side were musicians, and your mother's side were singers. And, that speaks. So I always, when we start talking about relationships sometimes, I always say that, when a man and a woman unite, they have to complement each other, not complement each other's lives, not complicate each other's lives. And that is a compliment right there, because you've got musicians on one side, you've got singers on the other side, and when the two come together, they produce a powerhouse called Felicia.
I thank God for the way he sculpted this and molded this. I mean, a lot of times I've had problems, and I've wished, oh Lord, why me? But in hindsight, I can say I'm so grateful for the path that He has carved out for me, and it's so exciting to just walk in obedience and walk in his will and his way. It's frightening sometimes, but I'm learning to just embrace it and let go, because he has never failed me. He has never let me fall. He has never left me alone. And the process gets better, brighter, bigger every day. Right now, I'm a woman in amazement at what God has done and is still continuing to do.
And you know, he brings us all through our respective journeys for such a time, for such a season, and for such a reason. Can you speak to your journey of your lyrics? Because I believe your lyrics tell the story of the journey of your life, the peaks and the valleys and the detours and the obstacles and the triumphs, the trials. Can you share with us a bit of some of your music and how that music has told your story for a particular season in your life, or during a particular season or something that you were going through?
Absolutely. There's a song on the album that'll be releasing soon called Atmosphere, and that song really, really speaks to my turning point when I went from looking at everything as a negative to looking at it as God's plan, and there being a reason for me to be in each season of my life that I've gone through, because I needed all of that to make me who I am today and to innately prepare me for the people that I have to minister to now and in the future. Because you can't there are a lot of times where as ministers we think, oh, we can minister to anything, but God makes no mistakes. He knows exactly who is going to get through to who. He knows all of us. He created all of us, and he knows what it's going to take to reach all of us. So there are things that I've gone through in my life that makes me innately better to and equipped to handle a certain situation or speak over a certain situation that somebody is going through right now, because of what I've went through and what God has brought me through. So Atmosphere, a lot of people think, because the lyrics are, let the Spirit change the atmosphere in here. And sometimes people think I'm talking about the building. And in certain instances, it can equate to the building, the church. But that's not, when I wrote it, that's not what I was talking about. I was talking about me, the atmosphere within me. Sometimes my mind and my spirit man and my physical man would be in turmoil against each other. They would be what God was saying and what I knew was right spiritually. I didn't have the strength without God. Now, through God, I had the strength, but on my own, I was not strong enough to deal with and go through what I knew I needed to get to the other side of the testimony. So that is just talking about changing the way I looked at it, changing the way I viewed the situation. God, allow me to see me and this situation through your eyes and not through my eyes. God, help me to look at this positive and not as a negative. God, help me to want to do better, to want to be better, to want to get through this and not to just want to give up. Change the atmosphere inside of me so that your will may be done even more.
Was there any time during your journey where you were in a valley where you couldn't write or you couldn't sing? Or were you always able to kind of power through, press your way through?
Writing, yes. I was blocked for a while writing. There were certain songs that took me a moment. There was a song I had the track for almost a year before I could play it and play it and play it and say, okay, this is good, and I'd have to turn it off. And I would do that for months because nothing would come. But as far as singing, and that goes back to the first question you asked about my childhood, I've always been able to sing myself through. And that's why I know that this is not just a talent. This is a gift and an anointing that the Lord has given me because, and I say it a lot when people say, why do you do what you do? And I say, I minister to myself first. A lot of the times I'll get lost because I'm so caught up in the connection and the worship with God. I have to get what I need before I can effectively pour out to anyone else. So I've always been able to pull back on those hymns, pull back on those old songs, Amazing Grace, like really old songs to get myself through. Like I can feel when something's not right. I can feel when I'm down or I'm getting a little disconnected. And a song, I will go into worship anywhere. In my car, I know people in Florida think I'm crazy because I have whole worship sessions in my car on the way to work.
Amen. Amen.
What gets me through. So that's one of my strongest connections. Even when I can't pray sometimes because I don't know the words to say, I'll start humming, I'll start moaning. Eventually, words will come, and I know that's my way of connecting with the Lord.
Right. Amen. That is so powerful. Tell us about your album release, April 2nd.
Yes, I'm so excited. See, and that too is a story within itself because April 2nd is also my birthday. So we're releasing my album on my birthday, and I am so excited because it is a new phase. It is a new birthing. God has been, birthing this in me for so long, and I've been fighting, God, I'm not ready. God, I'm not ready. God, and who am I to tell God, He makes mistakes.
Exactly.
God, this can't be right. No, I can't. And finally, it's time. There's no more fighting. There's no more arguing. It is what God says it is. I am who God says I am. So I am excited to just share it with the world and minister. Now, mind you, I don't take it lightly. So a lot of people ask me when I say, I'm excited, but I'm a little nervous. They go, why are you nervous? Because God's people are the most precious commodities there are. There is nothing more precious to God than His people, than us.
Yes.
So to have to minister something or share a message that He gave me to give to them, that's a charge I don't take lightly. So I just want to make sure that we've been in prayer and fasting since March 2nd for the months leading up to it, and I'm just praying, God, allow me to be so much less of me and so much more of you. I want to be in tune where I hear what you say. I hear your voice. I know to understand and obey so that I stay in step with you. So I'm super excited. I can't wait to see what God is going to do. I can't wait to see how people receive the music because, it's when it's yours, you could always say, oh, I love it all. But I'm concerned on what people will love, and I tried to do something for everyone. So there is a song on there for everyone. There may be some people say, oh, I don't like this type of music. Well, it's going to be a little of that type of music on the album, too, because I'm trying to make sure there's something that can minister to everyone.
To reach the people. So how can the audience reach out to stay connected with you, first of all, and then also to where they can find your music?
Okay, you can reach me. I'm on all social media outlets. First, my website is FeliciaJoseph.com. That's without the apostrophe, so it's just FeliciaJoseph.com. That's my website. You can contact me through there. And then we have Facebook is Felicia Joseph Music, and that is with the apostrophe. On Instagram and Twitter, it's Felicia_Joseph. On LinkedIn, it's the same, Felicia Joseph. And I think, did I give all? Yes, that was. Oh, and YouTube, it's Felicia Joseph as well.
Amen. Amen.
My music is available on all digital streaming sites: iTunes, Apple Music, Google Play, Amazon, Microsoft Groove, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Everywhere that you can think of to download music from, my music will be there.
Wow. And do you have any events coming up where you'll be performing?
I do. I have an event in Georgia in October. I have an event in Tampa in June. We're doing the Juneteenth Festival the weekend of June 5th in Tampa. I think there is something in May as well, but I don't have my calendar in front of me. We wanted to, management had it so that we had a whole month for me to just do the promotion of the albums before the event started. So I know they're starting up in May, and they go out so far until November of this year.
Wow. So you have quite a schedule ahead of you, and we are so happy for you, and just pray God's continued blessings, and just grateful that God is using you to minister to his people, and also to give you the gift of knowing and understanding that what goes into your music, there's a little bit of something for everyone to reach his people. What he's poured into you, he's given you the ability to reach people that are at different levels in their walk, and people that are at different points where one song may speak to someone, whereas another song may speak to someone, and just really just a living testimony to the power of prayer, number one, the power of being rooted in church and faith, the power of relationship between a man and woman, where that relationship complements. They complement each other and produce just an amazing little girl that grows up into a wonderful, beautiful woman that uses those gifts that have been instilled in her to reach God's people. So we're just excited about what is happening in your world, happening in your life. You've had an amazing journey with experiences working with Reverend Timothy Wright and James Hall. You've performed overseas in Germany, France, and Japan. So God is he's just using you in a mighty, mighty way. So before we go, we've got a couple of minutes. I want you to leave some words of encouragement with our audience.
Amen. Okay. The most sincere thing I could say is never give up, no matter how you feel, no matter how much you may want to. Never give up. God has never given up on you. He will never give up on you, so don't you give up on him. Don't give up on the gift that is in you. Don't give up on the anointing that's in you. Don't give up on the charge that he has charged you with. The devil realizes how powerful you are. He realizes how much of a jewel you are in the kingdom, so he is going to fight you as hard as he can to stop you from doing what thus said the Lord. But if you just hold on to your strength, if you hold on to the promises of God, if you stand strong and believe without any doubt that God is in control and he will never lead you wrong, you will never fail as long as you are obedient and follow God. All things are possible. Just hold on, hang on in there, and Jesus will see you through.
Ladies and gentlemen, our sister, anointed sister, Felicia Joseph, her album release takes place April 2nd, and right now we are in for a treat as we have a release party starting at midnight with Jerry Royce Live Worldwide. Batman, are you still in the house?
Batman is here. We're about to release her video, and we want everybody to stay tuned. It's going to premiere right now. We're about to premiere in a few seconds. Yay. Felicia, we just want to say congratulations to you.
The stroke of midnight.
Yes. Congratulations to you. I mean, you've been working strongly in the ministry for as long as we can remember with your Testify Tuesday radio show, enriching and helping promote those that are serving the kingdom. And that is just phenomenal what you're doing, being an artist and a podcaster. You know, that is great. Congratulations to you.
Thank you so much, Jerry. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. And I'm going to tell you, Paula, now, Paula, you can interview, but this girl, I think I've had my best interviews on her show. It's like she bring out so much in the background. I know people always saying, you got to have him back. He's not saying enough. We want to know more. It's like, but, If you guys had a chance to tune in to Dr. Paul's Kelly Next Man Up earlier, it talked a lot about pride and, you know, not being braggy, you know, real braggy. A lot of us like to talk about our children, and sometimes it's kind of hard for some people to listen to you talk about your successes, you know, with your family, and, you know, it's like you all going up, you know, when they're not moving. But I think if we doing what Felicia is doing, we keep serving while you're being lifted up, I think they can see hope and see the light at the end of the tunnel where they won't see as being braggish, but saying, hey, this woman is sharing, you know, her gifts and her talents. You know? And same for Batman, you know, you're sharing.
Those seeds that were planted, so many years ago.
Yes.
You know, in that little girl sitting on the pew with her legs swinging with the patent leather shoes.
And the lace socks.
And the lace socks.
That's right.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I'm going to tell you, Paul, if you ever watch her.
It's such a wonderful memory now when I think about it, because I'd always have the big white lace socks over black patent leather shoes with the straps, girl.
That's
and
funny.
They were itching your feet and they hurt.
That's right. That is funny. I'm going to tell you, Paul.
Dare not take them off.
That's right.
When you guys see her video, y'all going to say, wow, this lady should be singing with some of the powerhouses out there, you know, whether it's back up with some of your mainstream. And, you know, and I was just telling Ron Jefferson in Messenger, I said, you know, have your artists that's on your show send me their material, because record companies are hitting us up all the time. You know, they understand how important a digital footprint is. You know, it's so important right now, because right now God is lifting us up right now. You're talking about brand new television shows and showcases and boat cruises. I've never seen so many gospel boat cruises. You know,
that's true. Every time you turn around, there's another flyer for one.
That's right, but that is phenomenal, because that means that when you go out there, you're just not sitting around watching people drunk the whole time. That's why I don't go.
That's right.
That's why I don't go, because people drunk. But next time, I'm gonna make sure I got my money together to hang out with You First Management the next time they take the cruise over to the Bahamas. You know, but
you know, there's one coming up this year.
That's right. So keep doing what you're doing. So you ready to premiere this, baby? You gonna tell people a little bit about what went on with the taping? You gonna tell us, you know, what went on?
Yes, I am so excited. This is the premiere of my, it was the second single released from my project, and the first song that I did a video for. It's entitled JESUS. And it was directed by Elliot Daniels of Clear Vision Imaging, better known, you might know him as Knowledge. He did a fantastic job. We recorded here in Fernandina Beach, Florida. So it was just, for my first one, it wasn't really big. I had two of my really good friends and two of my You First family members, my manager, Dr. T, and Ree also came, my sis. We had a ball, so it was rejoice. You can probably see it's going to be a happy video. We were having a ball. We were laughing. We were enjoying Jesus together, which is basically what You First does. We are a family that worships and praises together, and a lot of those moments were caught for the video. Elliot Daniels was awesome with catching off-guard moments and putting it in the video. So you just see a lot of joy, which is what we get when we talk about and think about Jesus. So that's all coming through in this video. I hope everybody enjoys it. I really do.
Yes, I know I did. And I can't wait till you come here and work out with us in our studio. We're looking forward to meeting you here in the beautiful Charm City. All right.
Can't wait.
Amen. All right. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're rolling.
All right.
We're rolling tape.
Stacey Young Production.
You are the reason that I sing, because of the blessings that you bring. And you are the lover of my soul. You hold me close. 1,000 hills, and you are my wheel in the middle of a wheel. To my darkness, you brought the light. When I was blind, Lord, you gifted me with sight.
Lord, you're my everything. I once was blind, but you caused me to see. When I wanted to give up, you wouldn't let me. I failed you many times, but you never failed me. I missed many marks, but your grace kept me. This love that you've shown and this joy that I have, the world did not give it, the world cannot take it away. Your resurrection power made me brand new. I'm no longer bound to sin, I'm forever intertwined with you. My past is gone, I'm a new creature in you, yeah. You did it all for me and you saved me. You did it all for me cause you love me. You love me, I love you too. Your name is you intercede for me daily. As my priest, as my king, let's go. In you I move, in you I breathe, in you I have my being. Let's go. Hey, you're the air I breathe, the song I sing. I need you, Lord, you're my everything. Let's go. Oh yeah, oh yeah. We stand in need, we stand in awe of you daily. Let's go.
All right, man, that was beautiful. Let me cut my phone off. I was listening to it on the iPhone. Beautiful video, the music. I love that song anyway. So, Paula, you get a chance to see it because you couldn't hear it on the
Yeah, it was
line.
great. Yeah, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. I saw Dr. Trinell and Ree as well.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Amen, Felicia.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you. God bless you guys. I'm so glad that you guys enjoyed it.
Yes. That was the world premiere right here on Music Vision Television. Felicia Joseph doing her thing. You know what? It has to be so awesome being an independent artist now with the help of social media. It's not like you have to depend on your area ministries to help you put out and selling music out of the back of your trunk like the old days. It's come such a long way.
I remember that I have a trunk full of CDs.
In the trunk.
Yes.
So now it's like you guys have become, it's like this gave you the mainstream feel. You know, it's like just like Justin, remember a lot of artists got discovered on social media. You know, your mainstream people. So I don't know. To me, it's great.
We're going to keep that in the back of our minds and say, do it, Jesus.
That's right.
There you go. Speak it into existence.
That's right.
But you hear about a lot of artists sharing the big stages. I mean, we have them right on the show all the time. They talking about being on the big stage with a lot of these artists, opening up for them, you know, because of the promoters that they're with, you know. And that was one of the key things, you know, that a lot of people are talking about on some of these radio shows is, you know, who's your management? Who's promoting you? You know, a lot of these promoters, I mean, we had Dietrich Haddon promoter here a couple weeks ago on Late Night and Lakeisha Mosey show, and I didn't really realize that she was that deep. You know, she helped promote TD Jakes and Deidre Haddon and Tyler Perry. I mean, her list was long. The people she's been working with. I was like, wow. And she's from the DMV, so it's incredible. You just never know, you know, who you have sitting in your chair. And then they start talking. I'm like, whoa, this is a real promoter.
That's why it's always good to follow the old adage and be nice and kind to everyone, because just because you don't know them doesn't mean they're nobody.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't treat anybody like a nobody anyway.
That's right. I mean, of course, you know, Batman is nice to everybody, you know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, of course. Not you. You make everybody feel like family. I'm just saying it's words to live by for everyone.
Yeah, because you just never know who's coming through that doors, boy. I mean, it was so funny. It was a Sunday. Felicia, to just tell you how powerful this social media is. We had a young lady here that actually was nominated for 2 Grammys, and she had received an Emmy before for television production. And she's telling me all this stuff while she's on the show. Because, you know, Batman don't screen nobody. He just...
You might need to screen, Batman.
I know. I would have been nervous, though. And she's telling me all this stuff, and I was like, wait a minute. She actually got an Emmy for working on television production, and, I mean, she was naming all this stuff. You should have just heard my mind. My mind was, like, going crazy.
It was going.
It was going. It was like, man, what you get yourself into? And but it was the biggest compliment because she was so impressed, and she said it's very hard to impress her. I said, of course, you know, you got Emmy, you got 2 Grammy nominations, but it was a beautiful experience. I introduced my wife to her. She couldn't believe it either. I told her she got to start taking Batman serious. You got.
I think she does. She's so silly.
She don't. Tell her, Paula. Paula, tell you, she hasn't taken my stuff serious yet.
She
Paula dropped off.
Check the thing.
Yeah, Paula dropped off. She must have pay her.
But that's a good thing, and that's something you never know. You want to foster positive relationships as much as you can, because God is going to bring the right people to your path, unbeknownst to you. So it's just your job to treat all God's creatures the way you're supposed to, and you never, ever, ever know your blessing, your miracle, your next open door could be sitting right in front of you, and you have no idea.
That's right. Cause
that's how awesome our God is.
I know, because I be Googling people, I was like, whoa. That's what that person
to find out, be like, who did I talk to?
I got to start remembering names. People's like, do you know so-and-so?
You better write it down, get a notebook.
Got to do some research, you know.
Yeah.
It was funny. I had a really funny conversation with Chad Howard. He got all over me because I didn't know all these groups he was throwing at me. I said, Chad, dude, I spent a lot of my waking time trying to stay familiar with this technology that we're dealing with that moving super fast. Every time I turn around, every time I turn around, there's a software. Yeah, it's like a software upgrade going on. Then you got to take the class and everything, because it's not like these are toys. And he's like, Darry, you got to get to know who these people are. He was laying me out. I was like, he's right.
He got you good, huh?
I said, he's right. But Batman just got so much stuff, you know, he got to learn. You know, of course, my son, you know, I'm training him, and, you know, we're always on the road now. And now Atlanta's going to be my second home. So, yeah, we got a lot going on. So, but I mean, I understand what he's saying, though. He's absolutely right. But like for you, you know, you're in radio and you're a performer. So it's a lot you got to keep up with.
That's true. That is very, very true. Thank God for Team FJ Admin, because they help me with that. Because a lot of times without them, I depend on them a lot. Because I say, okay, give me a briefing. What's going on? Because it's a lot to keep up with, especially when you're one person.
It moves so fast. I tell people it moves, you know, and then people, you know, they will get offended if you miss their posts, and, you know, so it's just so much. Especially,
well, see, you never sleep, so it's easy for you. You're up 24 hours. I told you, I strongly believe that you never sleep.
It's 2 of us. I keep telling people it's 2 of us. Nobody believe me.
That would explain a lot.
It's 2 of us. That's right. So anyway,
I want to thank you. I want to thank you, Batman. Thank you so much. Thank Paula G so much. Thank the listeners so much. I am so appreciative that you guys took a little time out to spend with me on this evening and to do the world premiere of the JESUS video.
Amen.
I am
Amen.
so grateful.
Amen.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for considering us. And the girls needed a night off anyway. They've been going hard. Ooh, man, for months. I think I did give them Christmas off. they've been going hard. And even Lakeisha, she has to get ready for tomorrow. We have a CD release party with Anthony Avery tomorrow in Baltimore. So she has to take the drive from St. Mary's County and meet me there. So we got set up for the red carpet and meet people and then talk about my journey. So it's I love this industry. You gotta love it. You know, God has been good. The connections, the collaborations, you know, and I remember the late great Wayne Dwyer. Wayne Dwyer said, "God did not put you here to do what you're doing by yourself, not alone.
Right.
There's people here to work with you." You know, and you've been great too. You know, having other radio podcasters on your show. You know, that's big of a person to do something like that. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Use your resources. That's what I say. That was one of the topics on Testify Tuesday one week. Use your resources. God has laid them out for you.
Mm-hmm.
He did not plan for us to be here alone. That's why he created us and told us to be fruitful and multiply. We're here to support each other. We're here to help each other. When you learn lessons, you're not just learning the lesson for yourself. You're learning it so you can share the information with your brothers and your sisters.
That's right.
So I agree with that completely.
That's right. He will not catapult you nowhere if you're being selfish. And
that's right.
Carry too much pride, you know, because we was talking about that. But I said, you know, sometimes you have to grow from that, you know, that environment. You know, a lot of us was brought up in a culture where it had to be me first. You would have been eaten up. you've been a goner, you know, especially coming from some of the streets that we do come from, you know, like New York and Baltimore and D.C. You know, the DMV and New York and that whole Gold Coast is very competitive, period. You know, from New York down, I think even Maine and Connecticut is in that picture nowadays, you know, because a lot of you New Yorkers hang out a lot in that area. And, of course, they hang out with you guys, too. All the way down to Florida, you know. It is very competitive, but we're learning, you know, something from Jesus, and that is that we have to work together because it's not about us, it's about the Father. It's about the Father. Right. That's right. Take a while to understand that.
And if we strive to be more like him, that's when we succeed. That's when we do our best work, when we're doing what he says and what he set out for us to do.
That's right. That's right. All right. Shout out to Miss Toussaint is out there. Eric Williams, McClown, Winston. Thank you for tuning in tonight. I know a lot of people been coming through. I lost our earlier feed today when we were doing Next Man Up, but everything worked out. We got a storm came through here, through the DMV, but it's all good.
Wow.
Man. Yeah, a little snow.
Are y'all getting more snow?
Yeah, we got some snow today. We sure did.
See, thank you, Jesus.
Yeah,
it may get a little chilly sometime. Like there was a post that came out where they said when you live in Florida, it's winter at 6:30. By lunchtime, we're back into fall.
Right.
By the time you leave work, it's full-on summer.
That's right. Beach weather.
And
That's right.
even it's springtime.
That's right.
That's what's going on right now.
That's right. Head to the beach. That's what I'm talking about. And, you know, we normally spend...
And I want to shout out real quick, if I can. I want to shout out Charles Carter, Crystalline Robinson. I saw you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. I know it's late. I thank you guys. Stacy Young was on. I saw him. He's the producer of JESUS and other songs on the soon-to-be-released project. So thank everybody for listening.
Amen. And the show will be available on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeart, and iTunes tomorrow. We got to remix it because it's going to be a space because we couldn't run the video while we was airing the radio show. I should have played the song at the same time, but I forgot. But anyway.
It's okay.
We'll remix it for so On Demand Pro so people can come back and check out the show and support you and love you and all that good stuff. All right. Any last encouraging words for our audience that's listening?
Like I said, just remember, lean on God. Don't give up. Let him lead you. Be obedient. Sometimes it's hard, but obedience pays off. The word tells us obedience is better than sacrifice, and I would stake my life on it. Be obedient to God. Obey, obey, obey. That is the way.
Amen. That's right. All right, last question. Did you feel the power? Did you feel the power, Felicia Joseph?
I felt the power of Double XI. I sure did.
Hey, man. Paula G had to leave. She got an event coming up tomorrow morning herself. So we busy here at Double XI, y'all. That's right. Serving the kingdom. All right, everybody. We hope you enjoyed the show. Again, you'll be able to catch the rebroadcast. We'll remix it for you. But you can catch it on Facebook. That's right. It's available on Facebook. You can check it out. Paula G opening up the show. We had a great time. All right, everybody. I'm Jerry Rose Live Worldwide. That's right. Batman of Charm City. Catch me tomorrow in Baltimore with Anthony Avery. Go out to his page. Find out what time. Come on out, y'all. Hang on out. Peace, y'all.
You are listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
Humble young man, humble. Woo! This is Jarrell Golden of Holy Ground Music Group, and you are listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast in Charm City. A quick question: can you feel the power?
Can you feel the power? Can you feel the power? Feel the power of Double XI.
Positive Power 21.org Internet Radio.
You are listening to Jerry Royce Live Worldwide Podcast.
Stacy Young Production.
You are the reason that I sing, because of the blessings that you bring. And you are the lover of my soul. You hold me close and never let me go. When I'm in trouble, it's you who rescues me. I'm never Lord, supply my every need. In you, Lord, all things are new. Forever you will be the one I give my praise to. Yeah. You ask Jesus. Jesus came from on high for me. You come there to die for me. You ask Jesus. On 1,000 hills, and you are my wheel in the middle of a wheel. To my darkness, you brought the light. When I was blind, Lord, you gifted me with sight.
that I breathe, you're the song that I sing. I need you cause Lord, you're my everything. I once was blind, but you caused me to see. When I wanted to give up, you wouldn't let me. I failed you many times, but you never failed me. I missed many marks, but your grace kept me. This love that you've shown and this joy that I have, the world did not give it, the world cannot take it away. Your resurrection power made me brand new. I'm no longer bound to sin, I'm forever intertwined with you. My past is gone, I'm a new creature in you. Yeah, you did it all for me and you saved me. You did it all for me cause you love me. I love you too. Your name is